Welcome to Habitly Courses, a production of Manage to Win. Each course is divided into multiple lessons for easy viewing. All are now completely free, so you can watch them on your own or work through them as a team. Please subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and share your favorite lessons with others. Try to find something that helps you be your best.
Hello, this is David Russell. I'm back. This is the final training lesson in strategic time management. Then there's a conclusion short video. And I wanted to close out by giving you 7 final time-saving tips. In one workplace study, there were an average of 87 interruptions per day, but I want you to notice 65 of the 87 were triggered by the person. That's bad habits. That's behaviors that need improvement. Look, it took 23 minutes to get back on track, which means it took forever, right? And 18% of the interrupted tasks were not even revisited during the same day. That's kind of weird. What is your greatest value in your company? It's not accessibility. This is why I talk about scheduling your time and protecting your time. It's your ability to solve problems and achieve desired results. So to do this, you've got to manage your time strategically, wisely. So 7 time-saving tips. Here's one. Be an essentialist, not a non-essentialist. Essentialist says no to things that they shouldn't be doing. Non-essentialist says yes to anything that sounds interesting or thinks they should do. The essentialist simplifies. The non-essentialist ends up overloaded. The essentialist is focused. The non-essentialist is firefighting. Come on. How often have you been firefighting in the last month? The last year? Throughout your career? The essentialist has less activities. The non-essentialist has more. The essentialist actually gets rested. The non-essentialist gets stressed. And the essentialist has more opportunities to do their best. And the non-essentialist can't do their best. There's too many balls in the air that they're juggling. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, say no more often. Here's how. First of all, you have to expect an unhappy or angry response. So we're going to be respectful. Remember, we treat everyone with honor, dignity, and respect. We are going to be direct to avoid false expectations. So don't go middle of the line of, oh, I'm not sure whether I can do it. You need to say, no, I don't have time. State the real reason, address the concerns honestly, and only new information can change your mind. So what I want to say here too, and I was trying to see whether there was an extra slide there, is that what if you've got a full day scheduled and your boss comes over and says, hey, I want you to do this? Politely, respectfully, you say, okay, well, this is what I had planned for today based on the objectives we've discussed before. What do you want me to delay off this list so I can get this additional thing done that you want me to do? And you don't say it in a flippant way. You say it very sincerely, empathetically. I want to help. So just help me figure out what I should postpone and so that I can do this new priority you've got, and I'm happy to do it. Okay? Or you can discuss, alternatives, that type of thing. So you say no, but you say it politely and respectfully. Really key. Third tip is do it now. So procrastinated good intentions lose to bad habits. Good intentions don't count in the business world. Okay? I've had plenty of them. And I've had people who say, Dave's a nice guy, but he didn't do it in this area. This area, yeah. Okay? Fortunately, I've got other people who say Dave's a nice guy and he did great in this area. That's great. But I have made mistakes, as I've mentioned. So get it scheduled in your calendar and schedule it that if you have to reschedule, you still got time. Remember I said your weekly win is Monday to Wednesday. So if you need to reschedule, you got Thursday, Friday. So, and when you're rescheduling, by the way, do it now. So somebody contacts you and they say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make our meeting. I need to reschedule. Get it rescheduled right then. Don't wait. Don't let it float. Do it now. There was a guy years ago who built a very successful, this was decades ago, Very successful insurance company from scratch. And every morning he would have everybody in the company say 50 times, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, to get the mantra in their head. And he became a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire. I don't know how big he got, but he was very successful with this focus of do it now. And just some time-efficient ways to reschedule calls or meetings. So if that happens to you, if you have to do it, apologize for your lack of availability. Respectfully ask to reschedule is, an option there. You don't have to give the reason. And you reinforce that, hey, this meeting is important to me, you're important to me, and then confirm the time and the date, get it scheduled in your email, calendar, program, whatever. And as I say, do it now. We want to make certain that you're doing that. You get it in the schedule. An activity like a goal has a due date. You're going to triage any issues. You're going to do it, you're going to delegate it, or you're going to decline opportunities. One of those three moves the thing along. And by the way, my warning there in red at the bottom, I'm not saying that do it now means you rush things and it's lower quality. It's not what I'm saying. Don't put words in my mouth. That's not sanitary, as Zig Ziglar used to say. But do it now means that you focus, you get it done. Maybe you use stealth mode time, like we talked about earlier. All right, number 4, limit do-overs. Do-overs are a waste of time. The first job that I got working for someone else, now the first job I had was filling my full-size pickup stuff with tree trimmings and other yard stuff and taking it to the dump and dumping it. That was my first thing. Made good money as a 16, 17, 18-year-old doing that. But the first job I got working for someone else, I actually did detailing of cars, which is a fancy way to say washing cars and vacuuming them and cleaning them up, at a Ford dealership. And they had a wonderful service manager there. I forget his name, but anyway, I think it might have been Arnie, but I'm not absolutely certain. He was great. But I remember talking to him once about the work his mechanics did. And basically, the work that they did was that they would do the work if the customer took the car back and then came back with the same problem, the mechanic had to fix the problem and they would not be paid for that time. Now, I'm not recommending you institute that type of program, but what I'm saying is the do-overs are losers. They lose time, they cost money, doesn't work. So when we think about this, if we're going to handle papers that come to our desk or emails that come to our inbox, try to handle it once and aggregate non-urgent ideas or tasks to discuss in a single meeting. Now, we do that. I have Jeff, my son who works with me, and he runs software development, and he runs the books, manages all the finances. I can't spend a dime without his approval. That's the way it works. And he has asked me, because he's a high C, he said, look, I don't want you pinging me with stuff all week long. Will you please just create a list? And that's what I do in OneNote. I keep a list. And then when we talk once a week, and we talk every week systematically, we go through certain areas of the business, but I also have my list that's either within those areas or outside of those areas, and I can talk to him about it. That saves a lot of time. Now, set a standard naming convention for all files and enforce it. Very few people do this. But I can tell you, when I want to find a file, most of the time it's easy if I've named it, because I've got a certain style of naming things and putting a date on the file name, which is year, month, day, day, so they sort a certain way, and I can find things pretty easily. A lot of people can't. The fourth bullet there, small strategic changes can achieve big productivity gains. I've been walking you through a few of them. Really can. And as I said before, schedule your most important tasks during your most productive time. Whatever time of day, maybe even day of week that you are most productive, that's when you do your most important work. Schedule it for then. Number 5, limit the leadership load. Now, the first bullet may surprise you, but I believe that your number one thing here is put your family activities on your calendar immediately and don't let your work schedule crowd those out. Because you're going to wake up someday and those relationships you have, your children, your spouse, your favorite other, your friends, they're going to be gone. They're either going to be moved out, they're going to get sick, or they're going to die unexpectedly, or they're going to move out of the area, whatever it might be. So get the time in. That's important. You can also see some balance there. Restrict the number of direct reports you have. So be a role model. Teach your people how to be leaders and then put them in leadership roles. Even as a team lead, maybe not a formal leader or manager or supervisor or VP, executive, whatever, but develop a system in your organization that can scale with your people. Now, you're going to schedule regular time with your direct reports, so you've got that interaction, you've got that accountability, you've got mentoring, and you're teaching them how to do the same. You're going to delegate both at work and at home. Are you doing all the dishes? Why not the kids? Are you sweeping? Are you vacuuming? Are you dusting? What do you need to do? What can the kids do or other people do? And you need to reset expectations of others for your availability. What do you call it? Reality. Come on, get real. You only have so many hours, so reset those expectations politely, respectfully. How do we treat people? With honor, dignity, and respect at all times. By the way, where did I get that phrase of those three? I'm sure a lot of people use it. Where I got it? Chick-fil-A. So whether you like them or not, it makes sense. And that's what a world we would have if everybody was treating each other that way. Number 6, optimize creativity. Hey, if you get stuck for 15 minutes trying to solve something, take a break or jump to the next step or whatever. Respect the value of process. Sometimes things just take time. Interact with other people. Listen, read, take notes. I get my ideas when I'm driving, when I'm walking, listening to music, listening to a sermon, listening to this talk, reading this book. I get ideas all the time. It's probably the favorite thing that I like my phone for, although I like texting as a way of communication. But I love the fact that I get an idea, I can put it into my phone immediately, and oftentimes I use the voice recognition to do it if I'm not in an area where anybody can hear me. It's a great way to go, and I have idea files. Why not have idea files? Optimize creativity. It doesn't have to distract you where you lose a lot of time at work. So this morning, I guarantee you, I read something and from somebody, I got an idea. I know I did. I think it happened 2 or 3 times this morning. I said, oh, that's kind of interesting. I'd like to come back to that. I copied the link into a OneNote list or into a Word document where I'm keeping a list of ideas that relate to a particular subject. So optimize your creativity, but don't let it be a rabbit trail that you go down and you lose your focus in your schedule where you need to be spending time on something that currently is more important. And last but not least, 7 of 7, go with your flow. You got a certain flow. You have a certain way of doing things. And change one thing today. Do one thing a little bit differently. Try it out for a while. You can figure out when you want to change something in addition to that. I covered a lot of tips here. There's got to be at least one that can help you, right? Consider how this training can help you and define how you work best. I'm talking your flow. Look at these ideas. These are powerful ideas. I haven't put them all here that I've read because some of them I don't agree with. So I'm telling you the things that I've studied and I've tried and I've learned on my own that work. So pilot some things to change your behaviors, schedule the 4 R's in your calendar based on your flow, and hold yourself accountable. The 7 time-saving tips I just reviewed, this is my final deal here. With strategic time management, be an essentialist, say no, do it now, limit do-overs, limit leadership load, optimize creativity, and then go with your flow. So I hope you found this valuable. There's got to be at least one idea here. And if not in this 7 final time-saving tips, then overall, find something to change, find something to try, take the exam, pass the exam for this lesson, be the last one you got to do to pass this course, and then listen to the conclusion. It's brief, just kind of wraps up, and move on to the next course for soft skill development to be the best you can be. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.